Okay, welcome to Strat HRM for a quick overview over international staffing and placement. So, the big questions that companies deal with when it comes to international staffing or hiring is, do we use somebody who's local to the geography where we have outfits, meaning retail or manufacturing or offices that is not headquartered here in the United States, where we are sending people from where we would call them expats. So the big decision, it really comes down to expats, which are here in the United States. We are currently here in California, but doesn't mean that our company is. And then also, do we hire locals? So hiring locals is going to be more affordable, of course, for the organization because they're already there. We don't have to fly them over there. We don't have to house them, but they don't have that firm specific knowledge. So that would be the sort of big trade-offs, cost versus knowledge, when it comes to expats and local hires. So if we're now sending people out, if we're taking employees from the United States and sending them abroad, what are some of the things we should be looking for? That's the checklist that you see on this slide. So these are some of the criteria that we use for selecting people to go overseas for a foreign assignment. Clearly, they should be able to have competency in the job. So that's the technical skills of the position. They should be able to communicate very well with people, whether that means actually speaking the language or whether that means being able to take some classes to speak in language, but also generally being a good communicator, both verbally and non-verbally, as you are interacting with people from different cultures and other places. So having that understanding of communication. Flexibility, clearly you're going to be in new situations, there's going to be ambiguity, you're going to be experiencing norms and practices and approaches that you're not familiar with. So you want to make sure that you have a tolerance for ambiguity and that you're sensitive to cultural differences and do not bulldoze over others thinking the way we do things over here is the right way. Clearly a motivation to succeed, enjoying challenges. Any travel will be life altering in the sense that you will be experiencing new things. So, do you enjoy that? Is that something you find pleasurable? Willingness to learn, right? So, it goes along with all of the prior points. So, you should be there to learn about the culture, the company's outfit in that culture, the country itself, language, customs, the things that make it unique. Your personality, you tend to do better if you're extroverted, if you're agreeable and conscientious. So these go back to the big five. If you remember the OCEAN acronym that we were talking about when we were talking about personality. So extroversion, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. Brush up on that if you do not remember what those are. Support from family members, especially those that are coming with you, but also those that you maybe are leaving behind. And then we have something that's relatively new that's called cultural intelligence. This is, again, if you remember the CAB acronym that we talked about prior, it's cognition, affect, and behavior. So we are looking here at having that CAB again, right? Cognition, how do you think? Is your thinking flexible? Do you have motivation? What kind of behaviors do you have? Are those behaviors that are friendly, polite, communication is appropriate, and is your emotional willingness there? Do you have the tenacity, the patience, the grit, the positive attitude to succeed in a foreign country? So here's your checklist for when to select an expat. Company-specific technology or knowledge is important. Confidentiality is important. You have an urgency. There's a need for speed because it's quicker to use an expat. You have work rules about local workers that prohibits use of them or make it more challenging, I should say. And then you have a corporate strategy, overall company strategy focused on global integration. When do we hire locally? So here's another checklist for that. The need to interact with local customers, suppliers, and employees because they will have the language and probably the networking as well. They have the knowledge around all of that. Corporate strategies focus on multi-domestic market-oriented operations, meaning we're not taking headquarters way of doing things and imposing it on the other country and culture, but instead we're looking at multi-domestic operations where everybody can sort of equally thrive. Cost is an issue. As I said at the beginning, it's much cheaper to hire local than to send expats. Immigration rules regarding foreign workers are more restrictive, so it's quicker and easier to navigate the legislation around having local workers as opposed to foreign expats. And lastly, large cultural distances between host country, where headquarters is, and the candidate expats. No, host country meaning where the outfit is, so not headquarters is what I should say. So large cultural distances between host country meaning the abroad country and candidate experience expats, which is headquarters, our country here. After you have had an expat go abroad and they come back to their home country, not the host country, but their home country, we call that repatriation. And what we see a lot of the time is that tends to be really difficult. So how do we do it? Well, first of all, helping our expat coming back with where they're going to find a place within the organization today. So most of them that come back don't even know what they're going to be doing in the company upon their return. So we need to clarify that. We also do know that a lot of expats come back from foreign assignments sooner than we would want them to. And a lot of that comes down to family members. So if you're bringing a spouse or children, you might have your job, you're super excited about the foreign assignment, but the family members that you bring with you, they might have a harder time integrating into the community with schools and finding job for the spouses. So that causes a lot of them to leave the foreign assignment quickly, and as well to leave the company once they come back from the foreign assignment. So we see a lot of expats coming back from foreign assignments actually also leaving the organization. There should be communications, obviously, between home and host when the expat is away. Keep open, transparent, direct communication channels. And of course, we are providing training and rewards that go beyond monetary, beyond money, right? Wages, benefits, and rewards. We want to make sure that people are validated for their experiences, that they feel that it was useful for the organization, and that their sacrifice of going someplace else actually is valued by the organization. So that's it for a quick international staffing piece.